You're here because, well, you want to understand things quickly, right? Get right to the core without all the fluff.
Exactly. No drowning in information.
So today we're tackling something really fundamental, how we talk about our daily routine in English.
Yeah, and we're digging into a specific source for this. Day 4 of spoken English in 40 days. And, describing your day might seem basic, maybe even a bit simple, but it's surprising how much essential communication it unlocks. It really is a foundation.
Absolutely. It's packed with these really practical phrases. So our mission here, our goal for this deep dive, is to pull out the most useful bits, the vocabulary, the sentence structures.
Give you that toolkit.
Exactly. A toolkit to help you talk about your day confidently in English.
No.
So let's start at the beginning, just like the source does, waking up.
Okay, so the lesson kicks off with phrases like, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Pretty standard. Then I get out of bed and stretch, and I brush my teeth and wash my face. What's interesting here, I think, is how direct these are. And many of the verbs like wake up, get up, brush, they're often used simply, focusing just on the action.
Yeah, they don't always need a complicated object right after them, like at 6 o'clock or just and stretch.
Precisely. It's a common pattern when you're starting out, focusing on the action and its immediate timing or consequence. Getting that down helps later on.
And it gives these shorter versions, too, for practice. Like, I wake up at 6, I get up and stretch.
I brush my teeth.
Yeah.
It really tries to get you saying them, making them feel natural. Okay, so that's the first few moments of the day.
Yeah.
What's next? Getting ready.
Yep, getting ready. The lesson moves on to things like I take a shower,
Okay.
I get dressed for work or school, I comb my hair, and then I eat breakfast. It's a very logical flow.
Right. Makes sense. And notice that verb take a shower. We use that quite a bit for activities, don't we?
We do. Like, take a break, take a look. It's common.
And breakfast gets a bit more detail. I eat eggs and toast. Or I drink a cup of tea or coffee.
And I really like this part. It prompts you, the listener. Yeah, your turn to say your real breakfast. Just use simple words.
Yeah, that's key, isn't it?
Right.
Making that immediate connection. Because the basic structure, subject, verb, object, like I eat eggs, is so adaptable. You just swap in whatever you eat.
So true. It shows how even these simple sentences are really flexible. Okay, next up, leaving the house.
Right. The source gives us, I leave home at 7:30, straightforward, and then options for getting around. I take the bus to work.
Or maybe I drive to school.
I walk to the office. I ride my bike. It covers the main ways people commute.
And the verbs here are useful. Leave, take, drive, walk, ride.
Yeah, and notice the little details, like using take the bus for public transport. Whereas with the drive or walk, you might just go straight to the destination, drive to school. Little distinctions that are good to pick up.
Good point. Okay, so you've made it out the door, you've commuted, you arrive at work or school. What phrases help then?
Well, the lesson splits this up a bit. For work, it suggests things like, I start think at 8 a.m.
Okay.
I check my emails. I attend meetings. Pretty typical office
That's
stuff.
very typical. And for school?
For school, it's more like, I attend my classes, I listen to the teacher, I take notes, and I ask questions.
Again, very common actions for students. And attend works for both meetings and classes, which is handy.
Exactly. These phrases really capture the core activities of a standard workday or school day for so many people. They're instantly recognizable.
You can really picture the day unfolding. Right, moving on. Middle of the day, lunchtime.
Ah, the break. The source gives us, I eat lunch at 1 p.m.
Specifies the time.
Yep, uses at for the specific time. Then I go to the cafeteria. Or maybe somewhere else, but that's the example.
And what you eat. I eat rice and chicken.
I drink water or juice. Again, simple, common examples.
And the lesson points out, lunch is a break. A great time to relax a little.
Yeah, it frames it not just as refueling, but as a pause, which reflects, the cultural aspect in many places. Lunch is often that moment to step away, maybe chat, maybe just breathe.
Definitely. Okay, lunch is over. Back to it. Afternoon work or studies.
Right. So for returning to work, I return to work at 2.
Okay.
Then describing the work itself. I continue my tasks, I help customers, I solve problems, I work on the computer.
Covers a lot of bases there. What about school?
For school, it's more subject-focused. I study math, I read English stories, or I do group activities.
You can see the range of verbs expanding here. Continue, help, solve, study, read, do. Lets you describe more specific things.
Absolutely. And notice how many take direct objects, continue my task, solve problems. That subject-verb-object structure is just everywhere in English. Really fundamental.
Got it. Okay, the afternoon's wrapping up. We're heading into the evening.
Yeah, the transition time. Phrases here include, I finish work at 5.
The classic end time for many.
I go home, then settling in, I rest a little, I change my clothes, I have tea or snacks.
Little rituals.
Exactly. And then ways to unwind. I relax after work, or maybe more specifically, I watch TV to unwind. It gives a couple of options.
I like that it acknowledges different ways people chill out, and it makes you think, okay, how do I relax? What phrase fits my evening?
That's the idea. Maybe it's I read a book, or I listen to music, or I talk to my family. You start applying it.
Right. Which brings us to the night proper. Dinner time, family time.
Yeah, the source covers this with, I have dinner with my family.
Nice, communal.
I talk with my children. I help my kids with homework. Very family-centric examples. But also things like, I watch the news, I check my phone, and importantly, I plan for tomorrow.
Planning ahead. That's a common evening task, too. It's a real mix of social stuff and more personal, maybe solitary activities.
It is. And again, the verbs shift slightly more focus on connection, like talk, help, or preparation, like plan. It's another good moment for the listener to think, okay, what does my evening look like in English?
For sure. Okay, almost there. The day is ending. Bedtime routine.
The final stretch the lesson offers. I go to bed at 10.
Standard time.
Then I brush my teeth again. Important.
Yes.
I say goodnight. And finally, I sleep at 10:30. So it distinguishes between going to bed and actually being asleep.
That brings the whole cycle described in the source to a close.
Right, and then it pulls it all together with a full example. Remember Fatima?
Ah, yes, Fatima's routine.
It says, my name's Fatima. I wake up at 6. I brush my teeth and get ready. I eat breakfast and go to work.
I start work at 8. I work all morning, eat lunch at 1, and finish at 5. I go home, eat dinner, and sleep at 10.
See? It just strings those simple sentences together, creating a clear narrative of her day. It's a great model.
And the lesson really pushes you to do the same. It says, try to make your own daily routine paragraph now. Use your real life.
You don't need to be perfect. That's crucial.
So important. You just need to try. Repeat these words often. That's the key to fluency. It's all about the practice, not perfectionism, especially early on.
Absolutely. That repetition, it like builds the pathways in your brain, makes the language come more automatically. It's like language muscle memory.
Totally. And then there's this really practical task it suggests.
Oh yeah, the recording.
Yeah. Record your daily routine on your phone in English. Listen to it. Improve the words. Add more details.
That is such a good idea because you're actively producing the language, then you're listening back critically.
Right. You hear your own pronunciation, your hesitations.
And you can think, okay, how can I make that better? How can I add more of my actual life into it? It's much more powerful than just reading.
Definitely more active learning. And finally, gives us some conversation starters. Simple questions.
Like, what time do you wake up?
What do you do in the morning?
What do you eat for lunch?
Do you watch TV at night? Basic stuff, but perfect for actually using this language with other people.
Exactly. They give you an immediate way to practice and, connect with others about their everyday lives, too. It's a natural starting point for simple chats.
So, wrapping up, you can really see how getting a handle on describing your daily routine is. Well, it's foundational for English. It's the language we live every day.
And even though it seems simple, you're actually learning core grammar, essential words, practical phrases, stuff you can reuse in loads of other situations. It really is building that base.
The source even hints at what's next, mentioning shopping. Kind of shows how language learning builds, step by step, from your day to maybe buying things.
Yeah, it's a logical progression. You master these basics, you get comfortable, and then you're ready to tackle slightly more complex topics. It all connects.
So the takeaway for you listening, think about these phrases as you go about your day. Maybe even, narrate it silently in your head in English. Remember what the source says. Consistent practice is key. Even small bits add up. Just keep using these phrases. Try them out.
Yeah, this deep dive gives you that practical starting block. Focus on these core phrases, make them your own, use them. That's how you build confidence and really start communicating more effectively in English. It's an empowering first step.